Ever wondered how far a father would go to protect his pregnant daughter from her irresponsible husband? When my daughter Emily's husband Alex maxed out her credit card on massages while she was working full-time and expecting their baby, I decided it was time for a brutal wake-up call. What followed was a weekend he would never forget. Asterisk, asterisk. It was a quiet Saturday morning when my phone rang. I saw Emily's name on the screen and answered quickly. "Dad, I can't take it anymore," she sobbed. "Emily, calm down. What's going on?" I asked, feeling a knot of worry tighten in my stomach. "It's Alex," she cried. "He stole my credit card and maxed it out on massages." My blood boiled. "He did what? While you're working full-time and pregnant?" "Yes," she cried. "I went to buy baby essentials, and the cashier told me my card was declined. I checked my statement, and there it was, 4 charges of $250 each. All for his massages." I felt a surge of anger. How could he be so selfish? "I'll be over there in an hour," I said, grabbing my keys. As I drove to Emily's apartment, I reflected on everything she'd been through. A few months ago, she told me about Alex losing his job. They had to move from their beautiful home into a small apartment. Emily had sold many of their possessions, including her jewelry, just to make ends meet. She was working full-time despite being pregnant. I couldn't fathom how Alex could be so irresponsible. When I arrived, Emily was still in tears. Her eyes were red and puffy, and she looked exhausted. "He's out, probably getting another massage," she said bitterly. I sat her down on the couch. "We need to talk. Tell me everything." She wiped her eyes and took a deep breath. "I've been working so hard, Dad. I thought he'd stop the massages, but he refused. He says they help with his stress." "But what about my stress, Dad? I'm the one working full-time while pregnant." My heart ached for her. "You're right. This has to stop. I have an idea, but it's going to be tough." Emily looked at me, desperation in her eyes. "I'll do anything. I just can't keep living like this." "All right," I said, determination setting in. "We'll teach him a lesson he won't forget." Emily wiped her eyes again. "What are you planning?" "I'll take him to the family cottage," I said. "He thinks it'll be a relaxing weekend, but I've got some hard work lined up for him. It's time he understands what real stress and hard work are like." Emily looked hopeful but still uncertain. "You really think it'll work?" "I do," I said firmly. "He needs to learn the value of money and the importance of supporting his family. This might just be the wake-up call he needs." Emily nodded slowly. "Okay, Dad. I trust you." I hugged her tightly. "It's going to be all right, Emily. We'll get through this together. Alex needs to understand that he can't keep living like this. It's time for a change." She sighed. "I hope you're right." I patted her back reassuringly. "I know I am. Now, let's get this plan in motion." We spent the next hour discussing the details. Emily showed me the credit card statements, and we talked about how to confront Alex. I left feeling more determined than ever to help my daughter and set things right. The plan was set, and I was ready to take action. When Alex came home, I was waiting in the living room with Emily. He looked surprised to see me. "Oh, hi, Mr. Adams. What brings you here?" I wasted no time. "We need to talk, Alex. Sit down." He looked confused but sat down. I handed him the credit card statements. "Can you explain this?" Alex's face turned pale as he saw the charges. It's for my massages. They help with my stress." "While your pregnant wife is working full-time and can't even buy baby essentials?" I demanded. Alex looked down, unable to meet my gaze. "I didn't think it would be a big deal." "A big deal?" Emily snapped. "Alex, I'm carrying our child and working myself to the bone while you're spending money we don't have on massages." I stood up. "That's why you and I are going to the family cottage this weekend. Pack your bags." Alex looked bewildered. "What? Why?" "You'll see," I said, my voice firm. "Be ready by tomorrow morning." When we arrived at the cottage, Alex stepped out of the car, looking relaxed. "This place is great," he said, stretching. "I could use a weekend to unwind." I gave a short laugh. "Not so fast, Alex. I've got a different plan for this weekend." Alex frowned. "What do you mean?" I handed him a list. "Here's what you'll be doing: repairing the roof, fixing the fence, and painting the walls, mowing the lawn." It's time you learned what hard work feels like. Alex's jaw dropped. What? I thought we were here to relax. Consider this your wake-up call, I said sternly. You need to understand the value of hard work and what Emily goes through every day. Alex grumbled, but reluctantly agreed. Fine, but I'm not happy about this. The first task was repairing the roof. Alex climbed up, and I could see he was already struggling. This is harder than it looks, he muttered. Welcome to real work, I replied. Keep going. Next, we moved on to fixing the fence. Alex's frustration grew as he struggled with the tools. I don't know how to do this, he snapped. Figure it out, I said. Emily had to figure out how to support both of you while pregnant. Alex's face flushed with anger, but he kept working. As the hours passed, his movements slowed, and he became visibly exhausted. Sweat dripped down his face, and his hands were blistered. You wanted to relax, right? I said, watching him paint the walls with shaky hands. This is what it means to be responsible. By the end of the first day, Alex collapsed on the couch, barely able to move. This is too much, he said, his voice weak. Too much? I replied. Emily does this every day, but with a baby growing inside her. The next morning, I woke Alex up at dawn. Time to get back to work, I said. Alex groaned but got up. The second day was even tougher. We worked from sunrise to sunset, repairing the roof, fixing the fence, and painting the walls. I made sure Alex did every task thoroughly. By the evening, Alex was exhausted. He barely spoke, focusing all his energy on the work. I could see the physical and emotional toll it was taking on him. On the final day, I sat Alex down. He looked defeated. I can't believe how hard this is, he said quietly. I handed him an envelope. Open it, I said. He looked confused but obeyed. Inside was a check for $1,000. What's this? He asked, bewildered. Your payment for the work you've done, I explained. It's the money you spent on massages. Now, use it to pay Emily back. Alex's eyes widened. I don't understand. I leaned forward. Alex, you've been living off my daughter's hard-earned money while indulging in luxuries you can't afford. She's pregnant, working full-time, and trying to save for your baby. It's time you start taking responsibility. You needed a massage for your stress? Now you know what real stress and hard work feel like. Use this money to pay Emily back and start being the partner she deserves. Alex's face turned red with a mix of embarrassment and realization. He quietly took the check and nodded. Thank you, sir. I understand now. When we returned home, Alex handed the check to Emily and apologized sincerely. I'm so sorry, Emily, he said, his voice breaking. I promised to find a job and contribute more to the household. I'll take over some of the chores to ease your burden. Emily looked at him, tears in her eyes, but nodded. Thank you, Alex. That means a lot. Over the next few weeks, Alex kept his promise. He found part-time work and took on more responsibilities at home. The experience at the cottage had changed him, teaching him the value of hard work and the importance of supporting his family. One evening, a few weeks after our trip, Emily called me. Dad, you won't believe it, she said, her voice filled with a mix of disbelief and joy. What is it, Emily? I asked, curious. Alex got a full-time job. He's been helping around the house more, too. He's really changed. I felt a surge of pride and relief. That's wonderful, Emily. I'm so glad to hear it. Emily paused, then added, and he's been saving up for the baby. He even started cooking dinner a few nights a week. I couldn't help but smile. It sounds like he's really stepping up. It's all thanks to you, Dad. That weekend at the cottage, it was tough for him, but it made him realize how much I've been doing. I sighed, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. I'm just glad I could help. You and the baby deserve the best. Emily's voice softened. We do, Dad. And now, I think we're going to be okay. The following weekend, Emily and Alex invited me over for dinner. When I arrived, I was greeted by the delicious aroma of homemade lasagna. Alex was in the kitchen, wearing an apron and humming to himself as he cooked. Hey, Mr. Adams, he said with a smile. Dinner will be ready soon. Make yourself at home. I sat down at the dining table, noticing the changes around the apartment. It was cleaner, more organized. Emily joined me, looking more relaxed and happy than I'd seen her in months. Alex has really stepped up, she said, smiling. As we ate dinner, Alex shared his plans for the future. He talked about his new job, how he was saving money, and his excitement for the baby. It was clear he had learned his lesson. After dinner, as we sat in the living room, Alex turned to me. "Mr. Adams, I want to thank you for what you did. It was tough, but I needed that wake-up call. I promise to be a better husband and father from now on." I nodded, feeling a sense of satisfaction. "I'm proud of you, Alex. Just remember, responsibility isn't just about working hard. It's about being there for your family, supporting them, and making sacrifices when needed." Alex looked determined. "I understand that now. I won't let Emily down again." As I left their apartment that night, I felt a sense of peace. My daughter was in good hands, and their future looked brighter than ever. Sometimes, tough love is necessary to bring about real change. And in this case, it had made all the difference. Months later, as Emily's due date approached, Alex continued to prove himself. He took on more overtime at work, ensuring they had a comfortable nest egg for when the baby arrived. He even started attending parenting classes with Emily, eager to be the best father he could be. One afternoon, Emily called me, her voice filled with excitement. "Dad, it's happening. We're on our way to the hospital." I rushed to the hospital, my heart pounding with a mix of anxiety and joy. When I arrived, I found Alex pacing nervously in the waiting room. He looked up and managed a shaky smile. "Mr. Adams, it's happening. We're about to become parents." I placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "You're going to do great, Alex. Just be there for Emily and your baby." Hours later, the doctor emerged with a broad smile. "Congratulations. It's a healthy baby boy." Tears of joy streamed down Alex's face as he hugged me. "Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything." As I watched Emily and Alex hold their newborn son, I felt a deep sense of pride and happiness. They had overcome so much, and now they were starting a new chapter in their lives, stronger and more united than ever. Life is full of challenges, but with love, determination, and a willingness to learn and grow, we can overcome anything. And sometimes, it takes a tough lesson to reveal our true strength and potential.